Beat
This is
his
the
ass.
last thing that I'm going to say about the election. My feed has been full of people on the left calling us horrible and awful and evil for supporting Trump.
I don't think you're horrible, awful, or evil. You're just okay with racism and xenophobia and transphobia.
Idiots are really going to try to shame us and treat us like we've done something wrong. Let me break this down so even your tiny, stupid, confused brains can understand it. He won the popular vote. He won the
by 1.4%.
Electoral College. He won every single swing state. So if you really think that everybody in the entire country is wrong, except for you, then you're even more delusional than I thought you were.
Well, first off, here's the thing, buddy. You ready? Let me run you through this with my tiny, whatever, non-functioning brain, all right? So, first off, one is I'm smart enough to not get facial tattoos. Okay, let's start there. All right, we're gonna start there. All right, that I at least have enough fucking sense to not get a bunch of fucking facial tattoos. All right, we'll just start with the easy stuff. Now we're gonna roll up the old sleeves. Okay, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna get into deep. First, okay, Trump did win the popular vote by 1.4%. Which meant that in addition to the 77 million people who voted for him, 75 million people voted for Kamala Harris. And when you add up the people who voted for the third party, more people voted not for Trump than for Trump. So Trump did win the election. He did win the swing states. He did win the popular vote. But more people voted against Trump than Trump. So even with the win, you guys are still the minority group. You're the minority group. Now, I'd like to add one other thing, is what I have heard from every Trumpian person through this whole election is you guys said that Kamala was the worst candidate, that she was terrible, that she was low IQ, that she had no policies, that she had no brain. She was a sleazebag. She was like completely unqualified. You said that Kamala was the absolute worst candidate on the planet. So let's pause there. You, with your MAGA worldview and Donald Trump, went up against the worst candidate. Unqualified, low IQ, no policies, horrible pick. And you still only won by 1.4%. And you didn't even win the majority of the votes. More people voted for the worst candidate and a whole bunch of candidates who had no chance of winning than voted for your guy. Which means if we had run a candidate who was even remotely good, you would have gotten smoked. So I wouldn't exactly be bragging. You know what I mean? I wouldn't exactly be bragging about the Trump victory.
I've had friends like you before. When your life is in shambles and it feels like nothing is going right, you blame everybody else except for yourself. Take a look in the fucking mirror. You spent the last 4 years raging against the machine. You were the machine. And you can spend the next 4 years crying about it, or you can realize that you can't pay rent with pronouns, suck it up, and join the rest of us in having the best 4 years in American history.
Dude, you can't pay rent with pronouns. Dude, why is this guy so f***ed up over pronouns? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is he so bent out of shape about fucking pronouns? It's weird, right? He uses pronouns all day, dude. Yeah, this guy's funny, dude. All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Dude, it's like...
Some of you may not agree with what I'm about to say. Some of you may. So, it is what it is. All right, so right now there's beef, right? Between Musk, Vivek, and MAGA. All on this H-1B visa, right? But to me, I find it to be a double-edged sword.
A double-edged sword. All right. Dude, is she MAGA? Because it's hard with the horrible accent and the double-edged sword. You're thinking MAGA. It's like we're playing MAGA or not MAGA. She's behaving MAGA. She's got the fake blonde hair. She's got the crazy manicure. What does her hat say? I don't know what the hat says. It's hard to read the hat.
In there, I didn't vote for either one of them. I voted for Donald. They were just a hang-around during the whole process.
Oh, she voted for Donald.
Both of them had some valid points.
Oh, there we go. Oh, shit, bro. It's Maga roulette. Yes. Dude, we kind of knew she was Maga, right? She's got cheesy jewelry, fake blonde hair, fully manicured, and then she's like double-edged. She didn't call it a sword, which is an improvement, but dude, she voted for Donald and not Musk. Not Musk and that other brown guy.
I find it to be a double-edged sword. And I'll explain.
Dude, she also looks like somebody like the Botox in the middle of that upper lip. Like she got a few too many jabs, dude.
In there, I didn't vote for either one of them. I voted for Donald.
Donald.
They were just a hang-around during the whole process. Now, have both of them had some valid points? Yes. Both of them, have I disagreed with on some things?
Yes.
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 But I didn't vote for either one of them, so I want to put that out there.
Really horrible music choice, too, dude. I don't know if you've noticed that, but the people that, like, they have the worst music choices, the conservatives, they always pick the worst music for their videos, whether it's a campaign video or something. It's usually way too dramatic. It's like B-movie action sequence music.
You're a piece of shit. No one cares if you go missing.
Is MAGA the largest cult in human history? Yeah.
All right, MAGA sucks. She's going to become more extreme in her political beliefs. Let's see what her political beliefs are. She looks like she's... Oh, dude, yes. I knew she was MAGA. Day 2 of AmFest. Dude, we knew it, right? How do we know it's MAGA? When we look at this, how do we know it's MAGA? Well, here's how we know. Because for one way we know is it looks like a wealthy home. Fake blonde hair. Wealthy home. Needing to announce how extreme she's gonna be, needing to like sort of, hey, I'm coming for you. A weird kind of aggression in her thing. Religious beliefs, yes, extreme religion. Anybody who says they're a fan of extreme religion, you know, all right, okay, what are you gonna fucking put a crusade outfit on and go start sticking swords in your neighbor or what? Right? Like, she's going to burn her neighbors. She's going to put her neighbors in a pool. And if they don't fucking sink, she's going to tie them up and light them on fire. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Dude, this woman is, we've seen her, bro. She's hard to watch, dude. Why do they always have the accent, guys? I don't mean to be judgmental. I really don't, but it's hard for me to hear a Southern accent and not think like, it just makes me think brain dead. Is that bad? I mean, I hear a Southern accent and usually I'm like, oh, are they going to be brain dead? It's like a high probability. It is a high probability of...
Did I miss that memo? Because there ain't a sliver of regret over here. I think it's like them talking to themselves in the mirror.
Dude, I'm regretting playing this TikTok. I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm having a lot of regret that I even pushed play on this shit. But dude, this picture, this is what I think about when I think about the Republican Party. This picture right here is literally the greatest representative picture of the Republican Party for the last 25 years that I've seen. This is literally the Republican Party in one picture, man. They just can't get shit done because they're children. Somewhere along the way, the Republicans became the party of obstruction. That's what they did. They became the party of reaction instead of response. I'm not exactly sure how it happened. I feel like it did have a little something to do with George Bush, with the weapons of mass destruction and the invasion of Iraq and, you know, the crashing the economy. And then Obama came in and steadied the ship. And then this whole like reacting to Obama. Somewhere along the line, dude, there used to be these very specific targeted priorities that the Republicans had. And whether you disagreed with them or not, there was some level of consistency with how they approached some core issues. But then somewhere along the way, Republicans stopped being about the focus of their own desires and responding to the needs of the people and the needs of the country, and they started just reacting to everything around them. The Democrats will pass some legislation, and then the Republicans react to the legislation. And they became about obstruction and about trying to slow things down and prevent progress. Even if you look at like abortion, look at the abortion issue. We know that the Republicans at their core, they want abortion to be gone. And now they say they want to kick back to the states, but even when it's in the states, many of the states are going to vote for it, even though the leaders in that state don't want them to vote for it. And because the people want it and the legislators, the Christian men don't want it. But the thing is if they were actually focused, they would be open and forward about wanting a national abortion ban. And then they would have a target that their whole party could coalesce to. This is a goal. But they don't, because they will sort of take whatever they can get, and then they end up unhappy, and then they're reacting to that and reacting to that and reacting to that and obstructing this. So then it ends up on the ballot and they get the vote they don't like in the state on abortion. So now they obstruct and try to get the constitutional initiative for the state overturned. They're just always trying to disrupt and obstruct instead of saying, yes, our goal is national abortion ban. And then maybe they never get it, but at least they would have a constructive goal and they'd be focused on trying to achieve their goal instead of running around like they're in a pinball machine, reacting to everything. And they did become very much obstructionists under Obama. And again, that culture war too, though, it's a bunch of reactions. They're reacting to transgender rights. They're reacting to gay rights. They're reacting to gay marriage. They're just reacting like, ooh, well, let's, like, what did they want to do family values wise? Like even with the trans thing, they're trying to eradicate transgender ideology. But like, what the fuck is that? Like, trans people are still going to exist. Why don't you figure out how you can peaceably live with trans people existing and start crafting some legislation that allows you to live? Like, trans people aren't going to disappear. Gay people aren't going to disappear. So why do you want to spend 30 years fighting and obstructing and trying to set up roadblocks when you know those people aren't disappearing? Like, even if Donald Trump passes a law of like no hormones anywhere in America and the US military clamps down on the hormone clinics, the trans people are going to order them from fucking Canada, bro, or from Europe. Then what are you going to do? You're going to go invade Canada, invade Europe. All right, well, now they're going to order them from fucking China, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people exist. It's like you ban the social media network. All right, they get a VPN. Like, why don't we say, okay, we know trans people exist. What about it really bothers you? And what can we do to help you be unbothered and allow them to exist? And let's come and sit at the table and talk about those fucking issues. But if you're just reacting to the fact that you want to, I'm gonna outlaw them, and it's okay, they outlawed alcohol. How did prohibition work out? It didn't work out very well. Simply like outlawing and not addressing reality doesn't work out well. That to me is the core of the Republican issue, is they keep trying to grasp on, even with their deportation, their whole idea of we're going to deport every immigrant in America. Like, dude, that's so unrealistic. And even if you deport all 10 million people, guess what? There's 10 million more waiting right outside that fucking fence, bro. Like, while you're bussing out 10 million, there's like 10 million climbing over the wall. It's just such a dumb fix. It's unrealistic. If they build a 100-foot wall and deport everyone in the country, it's not going to stop immigration. right? There's always been immigration. That's how we started the country, was immigration. So why would you make your governing principle doing something ridiculous that's not going to create a realistic addressing of the issue? And this is it, dude. This is what you get. This is the Republicans. When you think putting up a wall or getting rid of fentanyl coming over the border is going to solve your problem, and then you put all your resources into stopping fentanyl, and then what do you know? There's still a drug problem. You end up here. You end up like, bro, what did I just do, boss? Right? This is what you get when you think mass deportations are going to fix your society and wealth inequality. This is where you're going to end up. When you think the president's going to win the election and your energy bill is going to get cut in half because he told you it was going to happen, this is where you end up. Right? Right? Oh, shit. That is the best, dude. That's the Republican governing, bro. But this right here, I feel like this issue is what started the obstruction. When a black man became president of the United States, a black man who wanted to reform socially and economically the way America united the races, a black man who wanted to make America a more equitable country, this guy was the most powerful person in Congress. And that's how we got here, guys. This was it. We're going to refuse to confirm your judges. We're going to obstruct your appointments. We're going to deny you a Supreme Court seat. This is why we're here. It's like the second civil rights movement. This guy was not going to work with a black man, and he was not going to help the black portion of America have an equitable existence. I mean, it was crazy. It was like one of those things where they were like, we're going to do everything we can to sink this guy, you know? And that's really tough. And look at where we're at. What was this recent campaign? What has Donald Trump been about? It's been about a lot of racism. They're eating the dogs. They're animals, poisoning the blood, shithole countries, you know, saying everybody from the Congo are cannibals, calling Kamala Harris a sleaze bag, and, you know, doing the mic filleting shit. It's been a response about whiteness. It's been a response, a revamping of the Confederacy. We went from answering redlining and the end of segregation that we answered first with affirmative action, and then we started advancing with DEI, seeking out diversity, equity, and inclusion in our government, in our economic policies, in our corporations, in our hiring, to try and rewrite the wrongs of our past and repair our generational karma and of what we've done racially here in America. And now what they want to do is now they want to call those attempts to find equity, they call it racism against white people. They're now acting like white people are being discriminated against. It's wild. Really, they want to use the anti-discrimination laws of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. They want to use that legislation to protect and empower white people. And that's crazy, because look what's going on in America. Like, white men in particular are hardly going to college. They've stopped trying to achieve, white men have in America. And they're all acting like, oh my God, we're being fucking taken advantage of. We're being discriminated against. And it's like, dude, you guys aren't even going to fucking college anymore. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? They're being left behind in so many ways of their own doing. But then they're blaming it on, what are they blaming it on? Immigrants, pride flags, trans people. But yeah, man, this is pretty gnarly, dude. That was the start, dude.